This is step 4 of the Property Analyzer instruction videos. Welcome back again. This is Paul DeBruzzo here, and this time we're going to tackle the calculating the debt service or understanding better the financing of your investment property. So on the spreadsheet, just below the expenses and just below the net operating income calculation, you'll have the estimated purchase price that you need to enter manually and the debt service section. So this particular property was listed at $1,140,000, and I just put in an estimated purchase price at 1.1 million. Again, you can put in whatever you want. Okay, but as you adjust this purchase price, numbers will begin to change on the spreadsheet. You can see that the first mortgage number changed. That should say a million. The first mortgage number will change, and the price per unit number will change. So let's put that back to 1.1 million. And up here we entered 12 units. So the spreadsheet is calculating, taking 1.1 million, dividing it by 12, and arriving at a per unit price of 91,000 and change. Now, the next section below the debt service, the most important section is obviously your first mortgage. So to calculate the first mortgage, the way we manipulate that is with the percentage here under LTV. LTV stands for loan to value. So if we were dealing with a triplex or a fourplex here, and the loan to value was, or you were putting 20% down, the loan to value would be 80%. So you would just change that to 80. In a multifamily example here, we're estimating somewhere about at least 25 to 30% down. So you can make that 75% loan to value or 70% loan to value. In this situation, for this type of property, we're going to assume 70% loan to value. So the formula here is taking this estimated purchase price, multiplying it by 70%, and arriving at your first mortgage. Okay. The amortization here, because it's a commercial mortgage, is set to its max potential at 25-year amortization and 5-year term. Now, pay very special attention here that there is no formula in this little section. You can change it from 30 to 35-year amortization or back to 25-year amortization, but it will not affect your monthly payment at all. So again, pay close attention here. To change the actual amortization from 25 to 30 years, you need to go highlight the monthly payment, and you need to go up here into the formula bar, and 300 signifies 300 months, or 25 years multiplied by 12 months in the entire cycle equals 300. To change it to 30-year amortization, we need to add another 60 months because it's an extra 5 years in amortization. So you change that to 360. Okay, and that'll calculate for you a 30-year amortization. So again, this property we're calculating at 25-year amortization, so we have to make sure this number is 300. Okay, I'm going to write that just over here. 30-year am equals 300 months. 360 months. Let's not get confused. 25-year am equals 300 months. Okay? So, to the interest rate, this will definitely change the monthly payment. So you can change it to 3, and you can say the monthly payment moved to 2, and the monthly payment will move to 4, and so on and so on. Because this is a commercial multifamily property, I have this averaged out at what I would consider an average rate for a multifamily property in this category, about 12 units. and that's at 3.5%. Okay, so total, you have a 70% loan to value. The first mortgage is 770 based on your estimated purchase price of 1.1 million. You have a 25-year amortization over a 5-year term at 3.5%. Okay, this is the monthly payment, and we're ensuring that it says 300 months there. Okay, and the total debt service payment in their first year is about $46,000. Okay, if we go to this line down here, the line 54, which shows you the totals everywhere, it gives you a nice summary. Okay, and this neat little number here calculates how the debt service is in relation to your effective gross income. Okay, so about 45%. Now, below here, we do another simple calculation, and that's your net operating income. Again, right here, after we calculate expenses, we arrive at net operating income. Subtracting the debt service, so net operating income subtracted debt service, and you end up with this number here, which is your EBITDA, which stands for earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, and amortization, otherwise known as cash flow. So this is your annual cash flow number, 14,816. You can see it on the monthly down here, but we'll get there in a second. So to summarize, just below the net operating income section, we have your estimated purchase price. Once you enter the estimated purchase price, we'll give you the price per unit. Then you need to enter the details for the debt service. Now, careful here because you need to be accurate with some of your with the mortgage details or the debt service details. If you're analyzing a property for the first time, rely on the advice of your mortgage broker who understands investment properties, or your real estate investment advisor who also will understand this, and they will give you a good idea of what to expect in the open market. Okay, so very easily for this type of property, I would expect 70%, 70 to 75, and I'm taking a worst case scenario. I would expect 25-year amortization, 3.5% or less. Okay, and so that can give me a worst case scenario on what my debt service will look like. If it gets any better, it's all the better for me. And just below this section on the earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, we have our down payment. I'm going to move this total summary to keep things simple. So this deposit, that's a purchase deposit. So when you get an accepted offer, you need to put a deposit with the accepted offer within 24 to 48 hours after acceptance. So that number can be whatever you want it to be. It won't matter. But deposit 25,000, and the down payment, which is basically 30%, or the difference between 70 and 100, right there, is calculated to be 330,000. Okay, and the closing costs here are set at a static percentage of the purchase price. So C44, if you look at the formula bar here, if you look at the formula bar up here, it says C44 times 0.0225 or 2.25%, and C44, is the purchase price. So basically it takes the purchase price, multiplies by 2.25, and you get an average cost for closing costs. So your down payment plus your closing costs, total down payment in this scenario, $354,000. Okay, you can change this to say just 2% if that's what you like, or 3%. In my experience, 2.25 is as accurate as you can get. And just as a reminder, closing costs cover land transfer tax and lawyer fees and any corporation opening fees that come with your lawyer. Okay, if you want to figure out the exact land transfer tax, very simply, you can go to online on Google and search landtransfertaxcalculator.com and or land transfer tax calculator Ontario, and it'll come up and there'll be a few different results in the Google search. Just pick one that's relevant and make sure you put in the purchase price in the Ontario section, and it calculate exactly what your land transfer tax is. Some of them will show Toronto land transfer tax also, but you have to be careful with that because Toronto charges double. They charge you have to pay the Ontario land transfer tax and a second land transfer tax just for the city of Toronto. Anyhow, that's it for this section.